Hi, everybody. We here at Masquerade Studios appreciate you tuning in to see our tabletop RPG streams. Some of the content of our streams may be a bit mature and cause emotional responses in viewers. We really take the well-being of our viewers very seriously, and we want you to do what you need to if something triggers you. Mute the stream, take a break, or just skip an episode. Otherwise, if you decide to stay tuned in, we are available in chat during the streams to talk you through it if you need that. Thank you so much, and we hope you enjoy this game session.
Jason Carl. Jason Carl. Jason Carl.
Let's tell a vampire story.
Good evening. Before tonight's episode, I'd like to make some special announcements. First of all, happy birthday to my cousins Rachel and Allie. They turned 18 and 15 yesterday, but due to our recording schedule, I could not attend the drive-by celebration they did to keep the quarantine rules in effect. But I'd like to tell them, happy birthday, love you, hope you have many more. Also, today is Urian's birthday, aka Steve Perry. So, of course, pop in chat, tell him happy birthday. Finally, we here at Masquerade Studios do have a race casting call open on our Discord for anyone who wants to be part of our future race stream. We're going to leave it open until Friday of this week. So on Friday, we're going to close it. And if you've already applied for it, expect us to start getting in contact with you after that to arrange some interviews. If you'd like to apply for it, please do so this week. Thank you and enjoy the episode.
Good evening, everyone. It's your boy Twitch again, bringing you the kindred news. It seems up in Vancouver, the Anarch battles have been heating up, and it's going from Surrey into the low areas around the lower mainland area. I wonder what they're doing. If you want to see more on that, you should go over to Vancouver by Night. Down in D.C., it seems the coterie was back into Madam again. I wonder what she told him this time. And not long after, it seems there was a camera problem at the Succubus Club. They all just kind of messed up. It seems kind of sombre-y. And finally, we heard that Locke was sighted with the Thin Bloods again. She showed up at their little rant that wasn't much of a rant now, was it? This week, of course, we're sponsored by Aluka. I heard they even give blood to the Succubus Club.
Free-range, ethically sourced, cruelty-free, certified humane, organic blood products. Delivered by our conscientious and discreet private fleet.
Secret.
We make sure our stock is local, sustainable, and diverse enough to suit even the most discriminating tastes.
Taste.
Aluka Blood Product Services. Tapping the potential of blood.
For years, Washington, D.C. was a Camarilla city under the rule of Marcus Vitel. But when it was revealed he was a Lasombra instead of the Ventrue he had claimed to be, the Tower sentenced him to final death. But with Kindred, things are not always as they seem, and he survived his sentence only to return a decade later to seize the city from both the Camarilla and the Sabbat. It was during his second rule that the coterie arrived to the city. Lily Sanger, a descendant of the Toreador Helena and owner of the Succubus Club. Steve Perry, a caitiff who only recently found out he holds flawed La Sombra blood. Locke, a gangrel raised on the streets and now owner of the bar Purgatory. And until recently, Quartermain, the Nosferatu who is now exiled from D.C. and never to return. The coterie has been instrumental in restoring the city to Camarilla rule under the praxis of Nosferatu Stanford Warwick. Vitel relocated to Baltimore, where he has established his rule over the formerly anarch city. Things are far from idyllic under Stanford's rule, and events have been set in motion for his praxis to end. The question remains, does it matter who rules when there are powerful elders maneuvering their pieces for their own ends?
Welcome to DC by Night Vignettes. Tonight we have 2 vignettes. The first of which is when Wayland has been returned to Lily. Please enjoy. For this scene, Lily is speaking with Wayland after he was returned to her by Vitel. The scene is going to occur at Lily's condo just outside of DC. It's her secret haven that she has recently instituted. And Wayland was supposed to talk with Raphael for a bit, and when he was done, he was going to report to Lily so that she could have her talk with him. And this is where the scene will begin. And I am, of course, storyteller, Shaky McStabber.
And I'm Rylin Dare, playing Lily Sanger of Clan Toreador.
Okay. And Wayland comes out from speaking with Raphael, and he comes over and gives you a very slight hug. Just a slight one.
I hug him a little tighter than he hugs me.
Okay. He's like, I'm glad you got me back, but what did you have to do for me?
Nothing that I wouldn't do 100 times over.
Oh, thank you. I thought you told me it was dangerous for me to come back.
Not as much as it was.
So, tell me what's happened. I think that's where we should start.
Well, first, I have 2 questions.
Okay.
Have you settled on an identity, or shall I call you Renee in private and Wayland in public?
You can call me Wayland. That's
okay.
My stage name. It's what I perform on. It's what everyone knows me as. And Renee may be a name that we want to call less attention to because that's an identity that has a criminal past that I've...
And it hasn't been that long, has it?
Not long enough.
Okay. I understand. I just recently took back my own name.
Yeah.
So
we will continue under the name everyone knows me as
Wayland. Did you learn anything?
I learned that man is something to watch.
Indeed.
He puts on, I can't say a performance, but it is a performance. Because I've seen the other side of him. He is the consummate gentleman. He is refined. He is controlled. He is polite, friendly, charming at times. But he's a ruthless monster at the same time. He could have been Toreador in another life.
Trust me, I picked up on that too.
I mean, he could have been Ventru. I understand why he could fool the Ventru as long as he did, because
he is the consummate actor.
He is in a lot of ways. He can pull off what the situation needs. I mean, it was uncanny to watch.
That is what makes Marcus Vitel dangerous, but it is also what makes him survive. He knows how to adapt to any situation.
I mean, he's got age on him, but it's beyond that. There's an intelligence, a cunning in what he's doing. The biggest thing I've learned watching him is he makes no everything has a purpose. Every move has a purpose. Every step he takes is for a reason. He doesn't do anything unplanned. He doesn't do anything as a whim. It is, everything is furthering one goal or another, or making another tool. It is frightening to watch.
Indeed.
Is that what you want me to become?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
But I can see he's a survivor.
Indeed. But he knows when to cut his losses.
Oh, I can see that as well.
That's all I wanted you to really learn. Because I think you're magnificent as you are.
Well, who knows what I'll be in 100 years, 200 years. Hopefully not that. Though he's much, much, much older.
Yes, indeed. So, as to what I did and what is going on. And Lily looks very nervous.
Just say it, Lily. Just, I'm fine with whatever. I just want to know what I owe you. And don't tell me it was just toward our business. I know you went further than you needed to go to save and protect me. So just...
Because I love you.
He kind of shakes it. He looks at you. I could say the same back, but is it the bond?
The bond doesn't make you feel love. It makes you tend to be compliant with my wishes. It makes you tend to not want to displease me, but you can fight against that.
But
it does not inspire emotion like love.
But a part of me tells me to tell you that just to...
Please me? No, darling, what really pleases me is the truth. Not platitudes.
But I don't know where the truth is now.
And that's okay. That's okay.
I still get... I can feel the blood call to me to even this is hard to say, to I feel I should say what I think you want me to say. It's
I understand.
It's odd.
You don't have to tell me now anything. Okay? What I feel for you is not something that I require reciprocation for. I know my feelings.
We shall see when the bond wears.
I understand, but...
I don't trust my words now, I guess
it's
I
fine.
should say.
It's fine.
And he seems shaken by what you've said. He's confused. He's not sure.
I felt that what happened to you and Raphael was my fault.
No. Pretty sure it was mine for not listening to you. They couldn't have burned me out of my club if I wasn't in my club. You made that clear last time, and I've given it thought, and I've agreed that my pride got in the way. My stubbornness.
And you said that you could take him and run, and I couldn't let you go. I blackmailed a prince to save you and Raphael.
I knew you were bold.
Well, a girl like me doesn't walk into town and wrap the whole city around her finger, not being bold.
I knew you were bold, but that's, you blackmailed Stanford.
I did.
The monster.
I did.
Okay, well, that explains quite a bit. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I wasn't worth it. You shouldn't have done it.
You don't get to determine your value in my eyes.
Well, I can question
You can question my judgment.
No,
all
my
you wish.
words. I question my words.
But
because a part of me says that ultimately, right now, you shouldn't have done it because it puts you in danger. And it tells me not to worry about my own safety in this subject. But
the only risks I ever regret are the ones I don't take.
I've heard that before.
Needless to say, he figured that the two of you were my tools. He was mistaken in that. I'm fond of both of you. Of all the kindred in this city, you were the one that treated me kindly. Raphael, although he was ghoul at the time, treated me also kindly.
Raphael has always been of the two of us, he's the consummate host. He's the one who understands the etiquette of a well, not all the etiquette, but the etiquette of a club and to establish the reputation and how to... I'm trying to think of the words. The words escape me now. Of knowing how to handle the guests. I am the performer.
Make them feel important.
Right. I am the performer. I am the backstage talent. He is the front stage talent.
Indeed.
And in a lot of ways, it's important to the show to have both of that working together, of course.
Indeed.
And that's been his skill. I'm sure he's also, he told me he made you some outfits. You found his other talent, of course.
Yes, he is magnificent. Truly.
Funny that two little street rats like us ended up, where we are.
I know.
Hidden talents.
Indeed. Indeed.
Don't risk yourself for me.
Oh, too late for that, darling.
Well, I still have to say it.
And I could tell you to do the same. But would that make any difference?
Probably not, as you could see. You
get attached and can't let go.
The bane of our clan.
Indeed.
We either get attached and can't let go, or we have a moment of passion and embrace the wrong individual.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, you inspired her too. Because you protected her, or tried to.
And it got me this. Which is...
It's not all bad.
It's a blessing and a curse.
It's not all bad.
I will say it gives me eternity to work on my skill.
It does. It does.
But there's going to be a point where I can't use it anymore because it would draw too much attention.
Mm-hmm. And you'll have to take a break. It's not forever.
Protege. I'll have to teach another.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some point, that one will have to teach me. And I will be his protege taking the stage.
Mm-hmm.
And perpetuate the cycle.
And that's the role I'm slipping myself into. You will see tomorrow, actually. I'm opening a new venue. You'll get to see me, actually.
Another club?
A lounge.
A lounge?
A lounge. It is more literary arts, spoken word performances.
Not my kind of place.
No, but...
I'll still... Actually, I'd like to see it.
You'll get to see me.
It's not my kind of place because I don't perform that way. I find, well, to be blunt, there's a vulgarity in street magic that it's not the same performance that I prefer to do anymore. I know I started there, but so doing anything I would do in your place would be closer to street magic than
I understand. But understand that this is not some highfalutin fucking, upper crust type place. It's to find the raw talent in this city.
And as you've been speaking with Wayland, you've noticed he's not the same exactly as he was before. You're not sure if it's a worry of the blood bond or if it's the merging of the two personalities, whether, you know, this is more of the Renee side that you rarely got to see that merged the two. He's still got a bit of charm, but there's a
directness
and a hardness to him that honestly, you've seen the same hardness in Locke at times. Though she has come a long way from that hardness. You've smoothed those edges out in some ways, and she's smoothed the others on her own.
I do have my talents.
Well,
but
she's both of them, Wayland and Locke, have that street still to them. There's a standoffishness he didn't have before, that the guarded portion.
But Wayland, let me tell you, I have also, because when he decided to try to take you from me, both of you, well, first off, that night I thought you had died.
Yeah, we had our discussion on that.
And
I
well,
thought I had died.
In honesty, I was ready to burn the entire city so they could feel my pain, but first I was going to start with Stanford. But, well, I do have a temper, but...
Most of us do.
However, when Vital let me know he had you and had you safe, I proceeded to go about undermining Stanford from the ground up. And now, there is an Archon in town. Very likely is Justicar as well. Haven't seen that one yet, but I'm sure I will soon. And they have all the information they need to rout that rat out from his hidden throne room. And they're taking him and his entire line out.
Wait a minute. Stanford was sire to Nathan. But that also means...
And a few other children that he has in his court currently.
Amos was missing. That means Glenn...
Amos is dead.
Okay, well then it means Glenn and George are also forfeit.
Glenn is presumed dead. Pretty sure somebody got their hands on him.
I've missed a bit in the city, I see.
Yeah, there's been quite the body count. Quite the body count under Stanford's reign.
Seems like it's been open season on sewer rats, but...
And well, a little bit of that too, because they've been getting a little uppity. But
and George, he was a good guy.
I know.
He's going to be forfeit too?
Unfortunately, yes. Sometimes there's collateral damage.
Yeah, well...
But... I know enough of Stanford, being I was his herald, a primogen, and also a supporter of him even before he took his seat. Hell, I helped ensure he took his seat. He is going to sell me out to the Archon. He is going to sell you and Raphael out to the Archon, because he is going to take out everyone he can with him.
I've known people like that. Used to be in a couple gangs with some of them like that.
If they go down, they're taking down the whole ship with them if they can.
Yeah, just to do as much damage as they go down.
I know that I am savvy enough to talk my way around whatever he tries to set up for me. I cannot sweet talk the fact that you impulsively embraced without permission. With a Ventru Archon.
Not going to let you take the punishment for what I did. You've already sacrificed enough. You should know this about me by now.
I want you and Raphael to run.
You're not going to pay for what I did. I will not let you pay for what was my crime. You know I'm not the type to let someone else bear my punishments. I'll hide out here if that's what you say to do for now. But if the bill comes due, I'm the one who did it. Let me bear the punishment, not you. That's not what I'd want. And you can blame it on the bond if you wish. But much the same way as I pushed Raphael to the sewer rather than save myself. You know I'll sacrifice myself for those I care about. Save Raphael if you can. Don't pay the price for my crimes.
Wayland, every man I've ever loved has died. Please, don't.
We are who we are. And you should know that. The fact that I've refused to admit that for so long is why there was Renee and Wayland. It's that failure to acknowledge what I am, what I do, even before I was embraced. Don't fool yourself. And don't take it from me. Do not pay for my crime. You've gotten it out of it before. Maybe you can get it. We can get out of it again. Strike a deal. But
I know old Ventrue too well.
I knew what I was doing when I embraced him. Yes, it was passion. It was a failure to...
You love him.
Well, he's like a brother.
I know.
It was a failure to acknowledge, as you said, it's the bane of our clan. But if someone has to pay for it, let it be me. We live forever, but let's be honest. We die in one way or another. We all do. Whether it's final death or the little death of losing what made us who we were. And if someone's going to pay, let me choose my ground. Let me choose. Rather than lose bits of myself over time. Rather than become like Stanford. Become like an old Ventrue. Become like Vitel even. He was in a talkative mood one night, and he talked to me about Marissa. He loved her. And while it's hard to believe everything he says because he's so good at what he is, I believed him. He loved her. And yet at the same time, he sacrificed her because she was in the way of his power. And he did it without blinking, and he gave a bit of himself away doing it. I'm not going to be like that. I'm not going to lose myself for what is easy, for what is safe. I'm not going to lose the pieces of who I was for the sake of survival. If that's what eternity becomes, I don't want it.
And you would destroy me.
You are a strong woman. It wouldn't destroy you. Do not let me pay, or do not make me know that you've paid for my crime. Save yourself, save Raphael if you can. Save me if possible, but don't bear the burden of what I did. And if something bad comes of it, do not blame yourself. I have made my choice. You make your choices, just as Raphael makes his. And if it comes to it, Raphael can flee, you can flee. Let me pay my price. And even Raphael would understand if he had to pay for what happened. He knew when he became a ghoul that odds are it wasn't going to end well for him. As we would say on the street, he knew too much. So one way or another, his fate was sealed then, and he knew it. Don't let the sins of this sire and the child fall on you. Hold the memory. Hold your knowledge of us. But
so you can become one of my ghosts? No.
No. Trust me, I've seen the other side. I'm not going to be there.
I'm not talking literally. I am haunted by memories. You are who you are, but I am who I am.
And be who you are. But if you take my burden, you are robbing me of who I am.
I would never do that. You have to come to terms with your burden.
And after all these years, I finally have, and that's why I'm telling you this. Is I am at peace again. And I understand, I knew at the time the punishment for what I'd done. We may be able to talk way out of it, make a deal, strike a deal, whatever needs to be done. But don't lose yourself to save me. Let me be who I am. You say you love me.
I do. Even this.
Then don't rob me of it.
I wouldn't.
I just found myself again.
I wouldn't.
And this time he actually comes over and gives you a hug. And it isn't the half hug he'd given you before. And this is where we're going to end the scene, I believe, where Lily now sees the real Wayland, what was hidden behind him the whole time, what the break between Wayland and Renee had really meant. It was a break because he refused to admit one part of him is a killer. But the other part of him is a defender, because he broke after saving him and Raphael. And then later, he was embraced because he tried to save Angelique. And died in the process, and she embraced him for it.
And Lily is a total sap for fucking heroes.
Deep inside of all the parts of Wayland and the Renee separation, his natural instinct is a protector.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to thank Relyn for
Thank you.
being in the scene. It was a bit emotional.
Yeah.
I did not know what she had planned for this scene. She gave me no warning about her actual plans, but
Sucker punch in the feels to the
yes,
storyteller.
yeah, she got me with it. But she also got to see a side of Wayland she hadn't seen yet, which is the real Wayland. Probably closer to who he was before he was embraced, though.
Good God, she loves that man.
Overall, the embraces made him a little more fatalistic, I think. And his time with Vitel has shaped him as well, because he spent the time in close company with a very, very elder kindred.
Fucking La Sombra.
And he doesn't want to become that. He doesn't want to lose what humanity he has left. And as has come up in this chronicle many times, the life of a kindred is a series of compromises. Karina brought it up directly to the coterie at one point that as a kindred, you're forced to work for people and do things to survive in a lot of ways. And each time you do it, you'll compromise your values for the sake of expediency, for the sake of survival, but you lose a part of yourself. And there'll come a point where you're not who you were before. Steve Perry sees it. Lily's seen it in some ways in herself. And Wayland refuses to become that, because all he's seen around him is all those who have given up so much. And thank you for coming.
Thank you.
For this next vignette, Lily is opening up the Savage Garden, a new spoken word lounge in DC. Unfortunately, during this recording, one of our players, Unconscious Celestial, who was playing Sabrina, had some connectivity problems and had to drop out part way, and we were really sorry she didn't get to join us for the whole thing, but it happens sometimes, so please enjoy. For this vignette, Lily is having the soft opening of her lounge. Of course, I'm storyteller Shanky McStabber. We'll let everyone introduce themselves, starting bottom right, and we'll go counterclockwise.
I'm Michelle, and I play Natalie, a Toreador.
I'm Don, I play True Death of Ventru.
I'm Relyn, Shanky's wife, and I'm playing Lily Sanger, Toreador.
I'm Sam, I'm Shanky's daughter, and I'm playing Bria the Bruja.
I'm Corey, or Unconscious Celestial, and I'm playing Sabrina, the game girl.
So it's opening night at Lily's Lounge, the Savage word?
Savage Garden.
Savage Garden. I always get that wrong.
Never remembers it.
I can write it down and I'll read it and say the wrong thing. It's okay. And it's a soft opening, so it's not the main, all the public invited. This is a kindred only.
It's an exclusive
event.
Opening.
And I'll let Lily describe her club so that the viewers and the other players know exactly what they're getting into.
Okay, so as guests are arriving, Lily is near the front door to greet the guests. She basically gives an overview of the club, stating that once you enter, there is a bar that will serve you refreshments, and they do cover discerning tastes as well. And also that you can walk around, tour the place if you'd like. There is a garden outside, just inside, once you go to the seating area. And there for some private conversations if you'd like to have them there. Or there is the seating in the lounge, and the stage is towards the back. You also see a small hallway going by the stage that likely leads to some private offices or green rooms, that kind of thing. The club is very warm, inviting. The seating is very comfortable. It's tables throughout the center of the seating area with comfortable club chairs, leather club chairs, and then there are booths along the walls for larger groups to sit.
Okay, and while you've invited all of the kindred of DC to this, we're going to focus mainly on the player and the guests that are present here. And we're going to assume everyone's already arrived, so everyone's gathered at the club already, and we're going to let the players take the scene from there.
Mm-hmm.
So, True Death and Natalie are going to be arriving together, and obviously we will greet Lily as we come in, because It's Clan Toreador.
Of course. It is so good to see you both. Don't you two look darling together?
It's very on
new.
brand.
It's very good, very good. Well, take a look around, see what, you helped me create, darling.
It's beautiful. I've had so much fun reading all the copy for the advertisements.
Thank you so much.
And I'm glad to see you have the proper refreshments.
Of course.
I understand the good doctor was involved?
Yes, I did work out an arrangement with the doctor. He has a gentleman that is very discreet working the bar tonight for me. And I would definitely be interested in working out arrangements with the both of you for my venues.
Whichever way works best. We have a wink.
I can't wait to look around, and I don't want to miss the performance, so I'm going
Absolutely.
Would you like
We'll
a
be
drink while you go looking?
Yes.
You can go ahead and go looking.
Is that a
The
question?
performance will start in just a little bit, but you'll be made aware. I'll make an announcement before we start.
Excellent.
And True will go and grab two special old fashions.
Excellent.
Special is in there spiked with Vitae.
Yes.
Beautiful. And she's going to wander the perimeter, both scouting the best place to sit and just generally enjoying the ambience.
While
So
walking around,
as she goes,
while walking around the club, you do catch notice of a painting you haven't seen before. It actually appears to be rather a new addition to her setup, because it wasn't in the Succubus Club or wasn't even in any of the photos she had sent you for working the advertisement of the place. It's, about an 11 by 14 standard size painting. And when you first looked at it, it looks like it's a stained glass rose in Art Nouveau style. But when you get to the angle, to the sides of it, and are looking at it from more of an angle, you realize that it's not in stained glass. It is a rose reflected in a mirror that is cracked. So what appears to be stained glass is actually a cracked mirror, or a cracked mirror pointed at a rose. And there is a statement in French around the rim of it that goes all the way around the edge of the piece.
and Natalie's eyes light up and she tilts her head back and forth, studying it and reading the inscription as she goes around. Beauté de loin et force de l'intérieur. La rose ne faiblit pas même dans les ventes plus fortes. Oh, that is incroyable.
Yeah, French is such a wonderful language.
It has
And of
so
course-
many uses, so many contexts.
Natalie noticed the painting and walked up as she was reading it out loud. Beauty from afar, strength from within. The rose does not falter, even in the strongest winds.
The statement, it just gives me great joy. But then again, I can't really show it to the person I would love to show it to the most.
Oh, you and me both,
You
darling.
wouldn't notice it even if you did.
No, he really
Yes,
wouldn't. But
Has so little
my
taste
dear
for
friend Artemis from Chicago sent it to me. She's an art dealer. One of her artists made this.
It's incredible.
Mhm.
You'll have to give me her name.
Oh,
on her card.
absolutely. She has an amazing eye, truly. She finds the best talent, but she's actually a Malkavian.
I mean, should I say that's kind of apparent from her taste in mirrors?
I personally love it. I do.
It's gorgeous.
Mhm.
It's very both things.
Yes.
Ah, you've done such a gorgeous job with the club, though. It's so
Thank you.
comfortable.
Thank you. It's actually inspired by one I had many years ago.
So, is it LA?
Okay.
We'll keep going.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, I didn't hear you, Michelle. I'm sorry.
Is it? It's all good. Is it one you had out in LA? I'm right. That's where.
No, actually, San Francisco.
Oh, now I did not know about that.
Was a long time ago.
We're at in San Francisco. I might have toured around there a bit.
It was actually near the bridge. It was a little shop. It was a little place I had with a shop, and it basically promoted beat performers that were considered outcasts.
We have lost
I
one of the
can tell
Might
players.
have performed there under a different name.
We'll continue the scene off.
Lily looks at you really closely. Oh my goodness!
60s, 70s?
60s. Oh my gosh! It is a small world. I wasn't even embraced yet.
I was.
Oh my goodness. You know, my sire got me about a year later. It was just taking off and he got me.
Well, you know, that's the way things go, unfortunately.
I had to give it up, and now I finally get it back.
I got lucky. When I was embraced in France, it was either embrace or die, so...
Yeah, I was given a choice, but I was ready for something new.
Unfortunately, you know, the Germans weren't so good at choices.
No, they really weren't. They really weren't.
You know, the French, the British guy who embraced me in France sorted that right out.
Mm-hmm. Well, goodness, it is such a small world. We meet yet again.
Bria, you've been to a couple Kindred things, but never... you've been Camarilla events, but you've not been to one before where when they said refreshments, they actually mean it is vitae in a glass. Instead of, in the previous events you've attended when there was refreshments, it was normally a gathering of mortals that normally ghouled or favored pets that have been well dominated into being allowed to be drank from. But in this case, when the bar is serving Kindred-friendly blood drinks.
Well, this is classier than any college party I ever went to. Wow.
I am the consummate hostess, darling. Enjoy yourself.
Oh, thank you for the invitation. I will.
By the way, I spoke with your brother. I spoke with your brother. Mm-hmm.
You did get a hold of him.
He actually came by and spoke with us, and we're going to take care of Buzzsaw.
That's good. That's a relief to hear.
Yeah, we're going to take care of him.
Question for Sabrina. Did you bring the wolf or the fox? Is the fox on Sabrina's shoulder this time? Or in her backpack?
Fox was actually left behind.
Okay.
Oh, so you see Sabrina's here without her fox.
Sabrina, it's so good to see you.
Under her breath, Natalie says to Lily, "Is that a gangrel in lipstick?"
I don't hear Sabrina.
No, she cut out again. I think Sabrina's losing her connection. So we will continue.
Okay.
From here.
All right. So.
This happens, and it's unfortunate, but we'll keep going.
Well, I'm going to go observe the stage.
Go for it.
Because I want to make sure everything's
on the invitations,
suitable.
It did say that if you have creative interests that you would like to showcase this evening, bring what you need. So,
I am going to stake out, like, the middleist table, the most in the public eye of literally everyone, and stake it out. Everyone else can sit there, but we're sitting here first.
Okay, are you back, Sabrina?
Sabrina is having some internet issues at the moment, so she's going to have to depart. Well, she hasn't departed the performance, but she is settled back to the eaves like the rest of the normal SPCs, and we're going to pick right up from here. It's unfortunate, and we really wanted to play with Sabrina this week, but she's in a different location than usual, and that's what happens.
Issues. Yep. It happens.
Yep. So we will pick up from there, where Corey has not brought the fox, but she is drinking at the bar and generally out of the way, and we'll let everyone else continue.
Okay. So I circulate amongst the other kindred that are present and just make sure that they are, at ease and looking forward to the performances tonight. I do kind of get a feel for who all will be performing so that we can ensure everyone gets a chance.
Okay.
True Alphers, he's like, as it's your soft opening, it's just for the special guests. I will gladly perform for you.
Oh, lovely.
I'll just need a chair and a mic.
Not a problem. That can be arranged.
I was about to say, spoken word's not really my art, so...
Well, tonight is more of an open mic night. Whatever you would like to show off, you can.
I will consider it.
Okay.
Well, I've brought my guitar so that I could play some stuff from one of my new albums.
Fantastic. And do any of the SPCs wish to perform tonight?
Ivan and Angelique actually have something planned.
Oh, fantastic.
I was about to say, if Angelique dances, I'm fucking dancing.
Fantastic. There is room to dance as well in front of the stage. So, yep. Okay. So good. All right. Well, then I will make my way up to the stage. I have a wine glass of Vitae in my hand, and there is up on stage a stool and a mic. I walk up to the mic, set my glass down on the stool. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the exclusive soft open of Savage Garden. This facility will be open nightly for the local community and possibly tourists to come and see and even perform if they have the raw talent for it. Spoken word poetry, storytelling, and even songwriters who have any aptitude for singing as well. But for tonight, you are all welcome to showcase your talents, whatever they may be. I will go ahead and get us started. I have a bit of talent myself. And Lily starts off with some spoken word poetry.
Okay, are you rolling the performance now?
4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15. I got 15.
And that is you're using all at the time?
Mm-hmm.
For your extra bonus dice? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I perform for about 15 minutes.
Okay.
And it is emotionally evocative. I mean, it sucker punches you in the feels.
Okay. So Lily puts on, some of her own poetry that she's written over the years. Mm-hmm. And 15 successes means it's, by the time she's done, there is tears and kindred, blood tears and moved kindred, Many haven't felt moved in years for some of the older ones, especially when you hit the age of, say, true death. And at that range, emotions deaden over time, but Lily evokes something in everybody present.
Thank you, everyone. I was far overdue. It's been quite a number of years since I've had the pleasure of performing. Now, I will open up the mic for whomever would like to perform. Enjoy. And I pick up my glass and step down from the stage and sit in a seat towards the back corner so I can observe everyone.
Okay. So Lily steps away, and is anyone going to speak with her before the next performance goes on, or going to give that option to the people here, of course? Does anyone
Bravo.
clap?
Bravo.
Yes.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
An opera clap?
I clap loudly and cheer.
Delivers a glass of whatever would pass for champagne that is, tainted.
Yeah.
I definitively am refinedly clapping, but I'm also dabbing my eyes with something.
There's not a dry eye in the house.
For the soft opening, unlike her normal operation, which will probably use a lot more of the standard napkins, she has provided, very nice
black silk handkerchiefs.
Yes, for the tables, because these are the kindred. She don't want to cheapen the experience.
Mm-mm.
Black hides blood lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It does. It really does. So True is planning to do a performance tonight. Does True wish? When do
He
people
might want me to go on later?
Okay.
Okay.
Does
Not
Bria want to
following
go on
immediately after her? I've already pre-rolled mine. You definitely want him to go later.
So does Bria want to go on before or after Angelique and Ivan?
I might want to go before because I've heard of Angelique and I know that I will probably get shown up. So rather than risk that, I'll just go ahead of time.
Make sure you add your presence dice for awe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Add extra dice for presence.
Okay.
Torador OP. Presence OP.
How OP my roll is. Oh, God.
Presence is OP. I'm just saying.
Yeah. 5, 6.
Yeah.
It's worse if you add
I have 8 successes and 2 crits.
Nice.
And 2 crits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
So that is 4 plus 8, so that's 12.
Is it 4 plus 8 or is it 8 total?
4 plus 8.
So you got 12.
You got 12. That's very good.
That is
like Lily raises an eyebrow like, holy hell, that Brujah can perform.
Yeah, that is actually when you start getting above 10 successes, the difference
it's insanely good. Okay.
Well, the differences between any given performance is not much.
Mm-hmm.
You're already getting into the amazing.
Her specialization is in
handed
singing.
to you as you walk off stage.
Oh.
Call my guy. You need to get onto the proper label.
Thank you.
The Temple of Boom.
And who does the card have for the name listed?
Oh, it's actually under Victor Temple.
Is it? Do you actually referring her to Victor for?
Yes.
The name, having come from Seattle, you recognize the name Victor Temple. He is actually a record executive on the West Coast. You weren't aware he was kindred, but he runs the Temple of Boom. Well, it's not just a record; it's a media conglomerate at this point. And he's also active on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Which is odd because you didn't realize that Kindred did that. But it's obvious this one does, apparently.
Well, I'm unsurprised that he's kindred, I guess. It makes sense. Thank you very much. I will have to get in contact with him.
And if you need an agent, I know one. And he points to Natalie.
Well, how do you do?
Yes, because this is the first time that True Def and Natalie have met Bria.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pleasure.
I'm always interested in art, though it is a little unfortunate your choice of clan, at least from my perspective.
I think it was hardly a choice of mine, but more of the choice that they made for me. But here we are.
True, but that's always true. It's a nicety to say rather than a reality.
That is true. And when it's Ivan and Angelique's turn to get up, Ivan takes the stage at first, with Angelique not on the stage with him. And he begins to sing in a deep baritone voice. He initially starts off a song about a soldier going to war and leaving his wife behind. And as he goes through the song, Angelique comes on stage and starts dancing. And it's not the traditional Russian ballet. She is dancing a more interpretive style to go with what he's singing and conveying the emotion of she's waiting for her husband to return And as this song goes on, it's clear that it's being set up for what always happens in a war, the loss of people. And as he reaches the end of the song, where you find out the soldier has died, she is again dancing, and this time a lot more somberly, a lot more slowly. And it almost looks like she's weeping as she dances. And that's where he ends his song. And he bows and she bows. And they slowly walk off the stage.
Lily is giving them a standing ovation. And there are tears in her eyes.
After they leave, then if there's no one else performing, True will then go on stage.
Oh, I will definitely perform now.
You want to go before or after?
She wanted to wait to see what Angelique did.
Yeah, Angelique did not do
preference.
She did not do ballet, which is odd, but with the nature of the song that was being sung by Ivan, ballet wouldn't have been appropriate for that story.
Natalie will dance now just because we can't let it stand.
Toreador rivalry. That is a thing.
Exactly. Natalie will definitively give a standing ovation and then dance the fuck you.
Okay.
I have 10 flat successes and 2 crits on top of that, so I don't
12.
know what that did.
You got
14.
14. Yeah.
Very good.
So
what do you dance? Is it ballet or?
She is going to do a very technically perfect French ballet, so it'll be very, very slow. But nobody will know this song, I know this, but there's a song called Mermaid by Scott, and it's about being, I'm trying to think of the emotion that goes with it, but it's a song about being caught on the rope of an emotion and always being willing to, like, perform at the end of it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It makes sense, actually.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And 14 successes
it's
is
that
pretty
drive and anticipation and ambition and yeah.
And while you're
and doing it for someone.
Mm-hmm.
While you're doing your dance, you do notice that when you catch Angelique's eye, she actually does a slight head nod towards you, as if acknowledging your dancing. Yeah. And when you're finished, of course, there's more for the more restrained members of the audience.
I stand and give an ovation. Same.
I am hooting from the bar.
Giggle.
Like, I don't know you person, but that was cool.
She sits down next to True and goes, "Your turn."
He cracks his fingers, stands up, goes, sits on the stool, lowers the microphone down, clears his throat a little, takes a sip from the old-fashioned.
Okay.
And sings the exact same song he sung in 1962 at the original opening. With 19 successes, triple crit.
Lily, roll intelligence awareness to see if you remember the song. It's been a number of years. It's hard to remember a song sometimes 50 years prior.
Four, 5, 6, 7.
That'll do it. You recognize what he's singing.
And he's not rapping. He's actually singing.
Yes.
And you see Ivan's head nod towards you while you're singing. True Death. You see him actually acknowledge your performance.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first time he heard you sing was rapping. And this is the first time he's actually heard your voice.
Magnificent. And as you finish, Lily just stands up and just gives you the shit-eating grin like, you sly dog.
And she knows that he did not know that until this night, that it was the same place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She knows. Mm-hmm. You sly damn dog. Okay, any other performances?
But he does walk off stage to
Okay.
Natalie, extend his hand to her,
Mm-hmm.
and then sit back down.
Mm-hmm.
She definitely leans over, gives him a kiss, but she is so smug.
Okay.
He whispers to her while
Karina
she
performs.
does that. We kicked their ass.
Mm-hmm.
Karina goes up.
Oh.
Let me roll hers. While not nearly as skilled as the previous performers, she actually does a reading from memory from Romeo and Juliet, as both Romeo and Juliet, having memorized the lines of both characters. And again, not nearly as skilled as everybody else, but surprising nonetheless that in that head of hers is that play memorized. She only had 6 successes, which is nothing compared to everybody else. You don't
No,
have as
but
many
that
dice.
was amazing. And
I
Lily
see that it-
stands
it's
and
an interesting
applauds.
choice.
And as she's coming off the stage, she says, "I'm not just a clipboard."
No, you certainly are not. I never thought you were just a clipboard.
True actually claps just almost as loudly for her because she, then True pride.
Darling, you are a motherfucking queen.
And I just appreciate anyone who likes the art, so I start clapping.
And she tells you, Lily, that when I was in school, God, seems like ages ago, I was actually what they called a theater nerd. Before I found a career in intelligence, I found out that my memory that worked so well for theater had an application outside of theater. I could remember the minutest details about everything.
Darling, anytime you want to read, you can do it here.
No, that's not my normal thing. I figured since everyone else was doing it, we might as well get on stage.
And in my former life, I was an English teacher who just
Then-
happened to love poetry.
Then you truly appreciate the works of Shakespeare.
I do. I do.
And then she goes over and you see her actually talking with Ivan privately for a minute. And I'll leave the scene back to the players for after the performances are done so that
No other performances for the evening?
no one else in the thing.
Okay.
Chaz didn't show up,
Okay. Okay.
which is noticed. Wayland and Raphael are here,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not doing magic or not. Actually, given what's coming, Wayland and Raphael are both you. Spoilers. You'll find out.
Okay. Okay. I will actually walk up to Ivan and Angelique.
Mm-hmm.
Your performance was magnificent, of course.
Angelique does a slight smile. She's still a little frosty with you, but Ivan just nods his head with his stoic Russian expression he always seems to have on his face.
I must say I lost myself for a moment in it because it's something I'm intimately familiar with. Thank you for sharing that with us.
And Ivan looks at you and go, "It's my story."
It's mine as well.
I went to war and was embraced.
Mine went to war and came home in a box.
Many did, though I think we're discussing different wars.
We are. I'm sure. But thank you. It was truly a gift that you shared with us tonight.
And he still doesn't show a sign of emotion because you've never seen Ivan show emotion. But Angelique is at least a slightly less frosty than usual.
Yes, Angelique, I once was a Ural with a heart. Funny how things change.
And that gets a slight smile out of her. So was I, and the bastard took him from me.
They always do, don't they?
And Ivan actually just nods his head and goes, that's the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Truth. Beyond truths.
Yep. But we still try, don't we, Angelique?
Nothing else to try?
Exactly. Okay. And then I
circulate out.
Circulate
and you can talk with the rest of the players if we have anything else. Everyone just let me know when you feel that you're ready to end the scene, because I don't know how much politics Lily is wanting to discuss in this night now that the performances are over and the formalities are out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
There's normally a little bit of political wrangling going on with this crew.
Yeah. So, I will walk over to Bria, actually. I'm saving Natalie and True for last. And you did fantastic, darling. I saw True gave you a card. If it's who I think, you need to call him. I'm also friends with him.
I absolutely will. I've been waiting for anything to get my sound off the ground.
He can do it for you. He really can. And I have an agreement with him that his artists can perform in my venues.
Well, I might have to stop by DC a little more often then.
Yeah, and you vaguely recall hearing something about Chocolate Drop had done a performance in DC at some point.
And she's a Temple of Boom artist.
Yeah,
and
she's on tour.
So is True. And
Yeah,
he performed as well.
She's still doing tours for her Candy Shop album.
Mm-hmm.
Although True's performance tonight actually beat his actual performance.
Yes.
Because you were singing, not rapping.
Yeah. All right. Well, and then she excuses herself and walks over to Natalie and True.
True hasn't let go of Natalie's hand unless she pulled away.
I'm not going to pull away. I'm not going to get in between y'all. I'm going to sit across from you.
For her edification.
Mm-hmm.
Natalie gestures for you to sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Come, it's a perfect night. You had a perfect opening, and we will absolutely ruin it if we do not sit down and make a big damn party of it now.
Absolutely. And there is music playing in the background now that is, festive and fun and it's good stuff. And everyone can just enjoy themselves tonight. I've made a decision that I needed to follow advice my sire gave me. Lily, when your work is done, pursue your bliss. And that's what I'm doing here.
Then we should all pursue our bliss tonight. We should get a bottle of something for the table and get the frosty dancing one over here too. We might as well be toreadors together.
And nobody invites the Bruja Bria to sit with the party.
Oh,
Bria.
Come, darling. Come, darling.
Grab a bottle.
We're all in a booth
shelf.
at this point. We've
I'm way ahead
relocated to a
of you.
booth.
Bring it to the table.
I grab
and then
a
go
couple.
grab another one.
Natalie will stand up and be like, drinks? Anyone? If we have to get paid for, I'll pay for them. Just come drink.
Everything's covered tonight. Everything's covered for everyone.
Excellent. Then let's drink on Lily.
Yes.
Not
So
literally
let's
on
see
the
if Lily sees True slip cash.
Oh, goodness.
And the after party continues on into the night.
Mm-hmm.
Kindred doing something that most Kindred never get to do again, which is
enjoy themselves.
Well, and also drink like they were kind again.
Mm-hmm.
The circulatory system is not spread to many cities in the U.S. at the time, and most Kindred have no opportunities to experience what they've been told can't be done, which is vitae contained in alcohol. Normally it breaks it down, but for some reason, some enterprising Kindred have figured out a way around it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're left with Lily having given an amazing performance, True Deaf giving an amazing performance. Actually, all the players here giving amazing performances. Bria, Natalie. And while Ivan's wasn't nearly as skilled as the
It was
others, and
heartfelt.
Angelique's wasn't as skilled. You learned a little bit about who he was in the past. And you see a side of a Bruja that you normally didn't see.
Mm-hmm.
And Karina surprised everybody with, if in no other way to say it, showing off her ability to remember details. Because to remember not just your lines, but both characters' lines and plays is not an easy accomplishment to do. And does anyone have anything they'd like to add at the end of this?
Nope, I'm good.
And we're sorry that Sabrina had to leave early, but you know, she was in the beginning of it. So if you want to watch her play games, and she does a hangout on Fridays, pop over to her Twitch channel, Unconscious Celestial, check her out. You can do, you know, watch her there and talk with her there. She's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I think.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. So, well, thank you for coming to this vignette.
And thank you, everyone, for coming to my soft open of Savage Garden.
Thank you.
No problem.
I hope you enjoyed tonight's vignettes. If you want to join us to talk about these episodes or talk about any of the other shows on McStabber Studios, pop over to our Discord. It's right over there in chat. And you can come over and give us a say hi and just talk about what you like about the show, what you don't like. We're happy to have you on there. If you'd like to watch our back content, of course, you can go to YouTube. We have all of our back episodes on YouTube. There's only 60 days worth here on Twitch, so YouTube is where you get all the rest of it. If you like what we're doing, give us a follow, give us a subscribe. Subscribe on YouTube, of course, so that, you know, we know that you enjoy what we're doing and we continue to bring you the best content we can. If you'd like to check out some of the other amazing streams, look over in the chat over there and you'll see a list of them. Speaking of amazing streams, of course, Tuesday nights we have Black Death with Tamshu and his cast. It's an amazing Chronicles of Darkness game. I actually did a guest appearance last night on it, and I was humbled to be part of that amazing group of players. This Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, there's Ishvel. It's a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons Viking-themed game. It's amazing. We love watching DM Tess and everyone on the show. So do try to catch it because it's great. Sunday at 6 p.m., of course, is DC by Night. This is going to be episode 34. So I hope you enjoy it. We had a pretty dark scene in the last episode, and we're going to have a dark scene in this one too. So be ready for it. And of course, we're still doing our casting call for Wraith. If you're interested and you're a member of our Discord, pop over to the casting couch. There's a pinned application. We are closing the applications for Wraith on Friday so that we can start scheduling out interviews with the people who have applied. So if you want to be part of a Wraith the Oblivion, a very suspenseful, emotional RPG that we're going to be streaming, go ahead and apply. And that's it, I guess, tonight. So thank you all for coming, and I'm glad you're sharing this journey with us. Good night.